It only allows, it's limited in what it can do. And most of these things have been used in the past, and even though some of them may have been successful, they failed. I will say that again. Even though some of the things that y'all hold on to, they may have had in the past some type of success, but clearly they have failed. They don't work. But you have the mentality to try to continue to put a round peg in a square hole. It's not going, a square peg in a round hole. It's not going to work, but you steady trying to do it. This makes us look insane. However, in our insanity, we still reflect a struggle. There is a certain segment of us who are not comfortable in our oppression. We understand that we are oppressed. We understand that we have been exploited and we want to get out of it. We understand that we are not treated and viewed like full functioning human beings. And this is still good because it shows that we still have some type of life instead of submission to death. Even though it seems as though for many of us, it seems as though we've become comfortable in our situation. We find joy in being shot in the back 8 times. We find joy being shot in your car. You was not reaching for a gun. You told this fool, I have a gun, I have a permit, but I'm going to get shot anyway. I ran a red light, something is wrong with my tail light or whatever. I go to jail and I end up lynched, called a suicide. It seems as though we're finding joy in being murdered in a racist society. Because you would think we would be getting a better response or a greater, more aggressive response should be coming from a people who are suffering under this type of condition. But it reminds me, man, I'm all messed up. This phone threw me off, and I really don't feel like making a video anyway, but I want to talk, so please bear with me. I'm trying here. Okay, I'm trying. It reminds me of when you spray a fly. Many of us, we have sprayed a fly. You spray the fly and the fly drops to the ground and you'll see the fly kicking and its legs flying and it's still trying to fly and whatever, but the fly is dying. What you are seeing is that the fly, although you have shot it with something that inevitably is going to kill the fly, but the fly is still laying there trying to live. Even though the fly is in an environment of death. So you have the so-called Negro, you have the people of soul in America. We have been here going on 500 years, living in the valley of the shadow of death, living in an environment of death that has only brought us suffering, misery, and death. We are laying here And we refuse to die. We refuse to accept death like that fly. But like I said, the fly, it's inevitable that the fly is going to die from the spray, which of course is not always the case. I've seen many flies who get sprayed and they shake it off and you think they dead. Next thing you know, you don't see a body. They, for some reason, they shaking that poison off and have flown the coop and gave you the middle finger, if they had a finger, and go on about their business. So we are in a situation that it looks like we could die. It looks like as though death could be inevitable for us. But like the fly, regardless to your belief, whether you're a black Muslim, Kemetic, whether you're a Christian or Nubian or whatever your title is, we are or have been sprayed in this nation, living in an environment of death going on 500 years. And no matter where you see us, and no matter how, you don't have to agree with the way many of us speak, but it is clear we refuse to die. It's not natural. Listen, you can call somebody a coon, you can call somebody Uncle Tom, you can call them, they are functioning in the manner that they understand and how they view life. You can't make everybody view life the way you believe they should view life. No more than the reason why you reject what I say. So because somebody disagreed with you, you want to call them an Uncle Tom, a traitor, a sellout. I could call you the same thing because you reject my message, and my message is stronger than yours. You can put all this Kemetic, black Muslims, all this Afrocentric stuff, you can put it all together in one box, and none of it is stronger than what I represent here. Because this ministry represents reality, and none of you are ready to accept reality. You want some kind of easy way out. You want some kind of savior. You want somebody to come and save you, and so you don't have to die, so you don't have to suffer, so you don't have to sacrifice. But yet and still, we show signs that we want to live. Our legs are kicking. We are laying on our backs, but we refuse to die. We refuse to die because it's not natural for life to submit to death. So life will fight to the death. Death is foreign to life. That is why you can be injured. That is why you can be shot. But the body will fight to the very end to try to live. Some of y'all, and you need to stop doing it, but you're going to do it anyway because of your sick mentality. Calling other dark-skinned people coons and Uncle Tom. Where are you getting all this name calling from? You got it from your slave master. And you want to get on the case of the person that you call a coon and an Uncle Tom because they have a European mind, but here you are using the same terminology to make mockery of another victim. Why you think they act and behave the way they do? Because they are victims of a crime. And you want to make things worse because for some reason you believe you've gone beyond being a victim, or you've graduated to another level, and you have not. You spend the same money they do. You speak the same language they do. Some of you even go to the same job they do, and so forth and so forth. What makes you any damn better? Both of you depend on the same damn races in order to survive. But this situation that we find ourselves in, we are trying to stay alive. But all of this, what we know, is going to come to an end. Either you're going to be a slave or you're going to be free. There will be no, as we live right now, there is no in between. So you're going to have to make your choice. Either you're going to live or you're going to die. One or the other. And if you live, then you can't do it as a slave, because slavery is foreign to life. It is not natural to be a slave. It is not natural for life to easily submit to death. So we need to make up our mind, and we need to get up on the same page. And it does not matter what you think or what you don't do, because a choice will be made for you, whether you like it or not, whether you like the choice or you don't like the choice. A choice will be given. So it's better for you if you have the ability to make your own choice. I want to open this talk, very brief talk. Hopefully, I can get everything I want to say within the next almost 20 minutes. I want to open and say this to us. I believe that, and I want to make clear, I love all of us because I love me. So, since I love me, then I love all of us, because we are all really coming from the same source. But in particular, I love mama. I love the female. I love the sisters. I love brothers. I love the male. I'm a male myself. But I love the sisters. And I think my love for womanhood seems to be much higher than that for men, is because I was raised basically around many women. And women have protected me all my life. Women have just been there for me more so than having a male figure. Oh, that's the reason why you the way. Yeah, that's it. That's the reason why you there. You come from a single mother, a single motherhood. You didn't have a man in your life. That's why you're poor. Woo, these people, they really kill me. Well, my mother was married. There were plenty of males around. There was the pastor. There was my grandfather, my father. There was my uncles. But none of these men impressed me. I was not attracted to none of these men. I was attracted to the females that was around me. Like I said, they fed me, they clothed me, they protected me. And I was around women a lot. And as I grew older, the majority of my friends basically was women, because I was not and have never been a whoremonger. So they allowed me to be around them, and I could hear what women would talk about that they basically would not talk about in front of men. But since I was in there, I was different. They just ignored the fact that I was a male. And you ought to hear some of the things that women would say behind men's back. And it's not all good, and it's not all bad either. It's just woman talk. Just like most men, most women don't get to hear or be around men speaking, they having man talk. It's also the same could be said for women. Women talk about men, and it's just in relation, it's just woman talk. So I understand the female. I understand her real role. I understand it, and I envision, and because I think for myself, because I understand exactly what has happened to us. I comprehend reality. I understand what has actually happened. None of this fantasy fiction garbage, scholarship, teachings, whatever this stuff that y'all talking about. I understand exactly what has happened. My master teacher is nature itself. And none of yours can touch mine. I want to begin this talk by saying, I'm very sure many of you, and I know I have, I would be a liar to say that I don't know nothing about this. Many of us have watched pornography. And when we watch pornography, it is not real. You have a gang of people who are willing to take their clothes off and perform sexual acts or sodomy. There's only one sex, that is the penis intercourse with the vagina. That's the only sex. Sodomy is putting a penis in your mouth, licking a vagina, licking a booty, and all this other stuff. That's sodomy. That is not sex. Has nothing to do with sex. That's sodomy. But you have persons who act on film these sexual encounters. They are actors. This stuff is not real. It is entertainment. And I don't understand, why do we find, or how do we find, as intelligent as we claim to be, how do we find watching people doing something that should be in the dark or in a private place? How do we find this entertaining? We watching people play with their penis and their vaginas. As highly intelligent as we claim that we are. But the human being, because of our extreme, highly developed, supposed to be highly developed intelligence, we do receive physical pleasure, but the act of sex for the human being should be much more than physical. When you watch human beings who are able to perform this type of thing in the light, beyond privacy, beyond the dark, then you know that you're dealing with persons whose mentality, whose esteem have been destroyed. They have found no way out. They need to make a living. Their life is hopeless. Something has happened to them in their life to destroy them in order for them to be able to be put in a position of exploitation, to be put on film, so somebody who will not do that can make money. How can watching pornography improve your marriage? Pornography is based on entertainment and physical pleasure. Period. It is a bunch of people whose esteem, they have been destroyed mentally. So if you're watching people who have been destroyed mentally, how does that improve supposed to improve your marriage, when your marriage is supposed to be beyond the physical, and this pornography cannot offer you nothing beyond the physical, especially from those whose minds have been destroyed. What we have here is a man's or men's sense of entitlement. What you have here is the usual activity of men showing their superiority over women and other weak men, because you will never find men in a superior position. You will never see them in a pornography video. You will never see that. So they take advantage of the destroyed minds and the conditions, the weak conditions of women and weak men, and they put them in videos and laugh and watch these destroyed people entertain them. Oh, wow. Men have a sense of entitlement, a sense of superiority over women, especially and other weak men. But in the case of women and men in Western society, and in fact all over the earth, men's minds have been conditioned. Oh, listen, woo! Men's minds have been conditioned to view themselves as the superior gender, and really women are products. Remember, in religion, the woman is a helpmate, an assistant to the man. So he uses his religion. He uses his religion and his educational system to put. Excuse me, I got this phone messing with me. To put women in a inferior position. Women are products. In fact, men's minds, not only in America but around the earth, men's minds have been conditioned to view women as products, something to use. Meat mark, you ain't nothing but meat on a stick. Something to give them pleasure, somebody to serve them. That's men's have a sense of entitlement. That's why they get angry when you reject them. You can't reject me, I got a penis. You're supposed to give yourself to me. No matter if I'm stupid, if I'm broke, or whatever it is, you're supposed to give yourself to me because I'm a man. So recently, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not really sure, but I heard that the rapper Jay-Z, he confessed on record or something that he cheated on his wife Beyonce or whatever. This is not no shock. Many men will cheat because of this sense of entitlement. They are superior. So what? So it makes no difference. As beautiful as Beyonce is, she has a very nice shape, form. She's talented. She's very smart. It does not make any difference. She could be president of the United States. It does not make any difference. She's a woman. And as far as men are concerned, they have a sense of entitlement. They are superior. I don't care what Beyonce do. So Jay-Z has, it looks like he has the perfect wife. Makes no difference. She's just a Lamborghini. So Jay-Z wants to drive a Pinto now and then. And that's what he does. That's what the man believes he can do. And because women, you are in a slave position, you are in a fear position, you will accept and allow these people to do to you anything they feel like. So most men will be forgiving for their trespasses. No doubt about it. Just like black folks, the people of soul, the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin, just like we always forgive whatever these pink people do to us, no matter how terrible it is, we forgive. And the woman always going to forgive the man because she has been conditioned. You are superior and you can do no wrong. So men, the only thing they do, it's easy for them to use one woman, go get another. It's lots of women. I deserve to get whatever I can get. Spread my seed. But at the same time, they develop a religion that teaches against this type of behavior. Men are hypocrites. Now, they do this to women all over the planet. Have a sense of entitlement. I am supreme. There is no real man. There is no real male. Here you are. You're going to put your woman or allow the women in your civilization, in your nation, in your neighborhood, in your house. You're going to sit back and watch the women, regardless if you view them as an inferior or not. you're going to allow them to be a stripper and a whore, the mother of your babies, the mother of your nation. What kind of man are you? This tells you how sick, or show us how sick the male gender is. At the same time, here the male is, he is the real whore, he is the real bitch, but he don't want to marry a whore. He don't want to marry a bitch. He wants a virgin. You got to be able to wear white when you marry this whore, when you marry this bitch. Nor does he want you to call his daughter, his wife, his aunties. He don't want you to call his aunties, his daughters, his mother a whore and a bitch. But it's all right for him to call other men's daughters and mothers and grandmothers whores and bitches. So you have this hypocrisy in the male gender and this machoism, this sick mental defect that we find within so-called manhood in the man gender. So clearly the male gender is corrupt, and we would not be wise, and we are not wise to follow men anywhere. They are mentally sick. We are mentally sick. We are corrupt. And women should not follow nobody with this type of mental illness. It's been going on for thousands of years. But you do. Just like the blacks, the slaves, the dark-skinned people, continue to follow and allow yourself to be under the rule and the control of a people who are materialistic, violent. They are mentally sick and ill. Here you are, you have a woman. She is not fit to lead. You got to have a man in your life. You can't lead nothing. But you can find a woman who has a very low income with 5 children. She has a car, she pays her rent, all 5 children have clothes and they're fed, and she's doing this on an income that is 10 times less than the average man. But she can't lead. So if she was the president of the United States, she has the ability to actually balance the government, destroy the debt. Because if you can take little money and raise 5 children, pay your rent, pay the insurance on your car, you can go and take, you should be able to go and take the money in a government and balance it and do the same type of stuff. What I'm saying, sisters, and listen, brothers, it's nothing, yes it is. You need to, if you want somebody to follow you and honor you and whatever, this type of mentality you need to destroy. You need to get rid of it. And you need to learn how to love a woman instead of view her as some type of product. She is not a beer. She is not your car. She is not your house. She is another human being that you should be able to love just like you love yourself. And she shows her love by taking care of you and the babies that you bring. She risks death every time she has a child that you help place inside her. It's about love, black woman. It's about love, soul sister. It's about love. It's better to be by yourself than in the company of a fool. It's better to be alone than be bothered with all this macho mental sickness, insanity. Do you understand? So again, we have plenty of sex, but so many people that's empty inside because you are acting on a level lower than your potential. Okay. Can we just be casual? I just want to talk. I've made several videos today, and I really don't feel like speaking, and you probably can tell. I really don't want to talk. I'm so tired, but I want to speak with us. So on this few minutes, I don't even want to try to be formal, because it seems as though it's not working. So I'm not going to do that. Let's just talk. And the subject that I've chosen for these few minutes, I want to speak about the so-called Negro, the African Americanist, the Black Muslim, the Black Hebrew, the Moor, whatever you title that you call yourself, the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin, born in America. I want to talk about how we don't want to accept our reality. We don't want to really, or we can't comprehend the reality of the situation that we're in. So we're seeking an easy way out of our predicament. Before I continue, I would like to send a shout out to my fellow soul brother, AdMinister, Brother Eric. I hope that many of you, y'all, so country, I hope that y'all have checked out my brother AdMinister, student AdMinister, Eric, brother who is my assistant, and hopefully we can really, as a team, continue to progress forward, and perhaps with our unity, many of you out there in YouTube land, many of you out there in internet land, perhaps you will come to join this temple of reality, and help grow it, help build it, help promote us. Because clearly this other stuff is not working. It's not. I know you love it. I know you love Reverend Mudflap and Pastor Chicken Wing and Farrakhan and Pastor Hagens and all these. It's not that Omar Johnson. It's not working. Nothing but hype. You need substance. You need reality. Whether it's good or bad. But that reality will be determined by what you do with your hands and the acquisition of brains power. Not brain power, singular, but brains power, plural. Only brains, plural power, can change your condition. But like the topic that I've chosen for these few minutes, you hear me, Brother Eric? They are looking for a way out, an easy way out. So, brothers and sisters of America, there is no easy way out. How long have you been praying to Jesus? Have you found your way out? Has your situation gotten better, or has it gotten worse? In fact, some may say that actual physical slavery really was better, and we were doing better in physical slavery than this illusion of freedom that we live right now. I want to speak about Brother Eric real quick before I continue. I know I'm hopping back and forth. Bear with me, because like I said, I just want to talk to us. I don't really feel like speaking, but I want to talk. You know how that goes. I've made many videos. I'm so tired, but I want to talk. Because I have the time, I want to talk. Because most times, a lot of times now, I have time, but I can't talk. So now I have the time, I don't feel like talking, I better take advantage of the situation. But my brother, student, and minister, my assistant, Brother Eric, we come from the same place, we have the same experience, and have come to the same conclusion. And not only he and I, but many of you out there. And the first step in a war is the war of words. And we need to get this word out. We need to get this platform of soul. We need to get that out. Because no matter where you put it, it's going to destroy. And anything that it comes in contact with, going to have to submit to reality. So you don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to worry about you can't talk. Just present. Just say what I say. Play my video. Bring them to me. Bring them to myself and Eric. We'll deal with all these folks that have a problem. And you will show them the error in their ways. They are looking for an easy way out. There is no easy way out, my friend. You only have 4 choices in our situation. Choice number 1, you can have a full-scale revolution. Pick up your guns, pick up your BB guns, pick up your slingshots, pick up some rocks. Total rebellion. You are too afraid to do that because you don't want to lose what you have. You don't want to die. You don't want to suffer. You don't want to sacrifice. So, of course, that's a choice. Rebellion is a choice to gain you the respect that you claim that you want. But you don't have the heart to get the respect. So, revolution is not a choice for you. Choice number 2 is to separate. And you don't want to do that either because you're comfortable on your job. You get 3 meals a day, clean clothes. You get to jump in and out of people's beds. So, I mean, you really are comfortable in your oppression. Actually, you have a country that was created by ex-slaves and free people from this nation. You never mention them because the reality is, see, that gives you a choice that you can go, but you don't want to mention that because you really don't even want to separate. So number 1 and number 2 is not a choice. You don't want to do that. Now the easiest choice that you have, but you find difficulty in because you want to pretend and put on this game face, you want to put on this entertainment that you want to be different, that you want your freedom and you want your own nation and all this other garbage that y'all talking about. Your third choice is to simply shut your damn mouth and be comfortable being a Negro slave in this country. Your fourth choice is to die, period. Go for it all. Go for the gusto. Whatever will be, will be. I'd rather be dead than continue to live like this. All these choices you don't want nothing to do with. So, you want an easy way out. Reality tells you you only have these 4 choices. You don't want to accept reality. You don't want to do nothing with reality. However, the Caucasian people, the pink people that made this country, the reality is it was not easy. Many Caucasian people died. I will say that again. Many Caucasian people died. They sacrificed. They suffered in order to create this nation. But for some reason, you think you don't have to die, you don't have to suffer, you don't have to sacrifice. And really, I don't blame you, because all the ways that you have tried did not work. So I don't blame you for your attitude, because we have been here going on 500 years, and everything that you try don't work. And the reason, my friend, it does not work is because it's not founded and based, nor can you comprehend the reality of the situation that you're in. So, it is easier for you to escape reality. It's easier for you to escape reality by turning to drugs, by turning to alcohol, by watching every porn flick you can get your hands on, waiting for the mothership to fly out of outer space and come save you. It's better to wait on Jesus. And then in the meantime, while you're waiting for Elijah Muhammad to come back, Jesus to come back, Bruce Lee maybe to come back, Elvis to come, whoever you waiting on, you waiting for the alien spaceship to come out the sky and come save you. This God spirit thing gonna come out the sky. In the meantime, while you wait 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 years, whatever, however you want to wait, I don't know how many. Well, you can't wait that long. But you will tell the same lie. You will send the same cowardice, the same ignorance, laziness, the same insanity. You will teach your children. So the years go by, and your children and many generations, we have been waiting on Jesus. Jesus ain't showed up yet after 2,000 years. Ain't no alien spaceship, no spaceship come save you after all it's going on 100 years. All this stuff that we waiting on, and in the meantime, we need to build our own nation. You don't have your own nation, but we need our own businesses. We need our own schools. We want to do everything that we can to make ourselves comfortable until the Savior comes. So let me create a business. Let me create a school. Let me grow some corn. Let me grow some wheat until, because I got to take care of myself, even though I'm under oppression, even though they would kill me now and then. Let me be comfortable as possible until the great Savior come out the sky. You are not dealing with a full deck of cards. You don't want to accept and face, nor can you comprehend the situation that we find ourselves in. This is the #1 reason of why many cannot handle the realities tip on earth. We have to deal with this situation point blank, dead on. I'm not here to tell you feel good stories and offer you false hope. Like a brother told me, we have to deal with things because it is what it is. So you keep looking for an easy way out. And the only thing you have done looking for an easy way out is you have found a way to make sure that you stay in. I don't do that. I don't suggest that. I don't advise that for these of whom are the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin, the people I call the people of soul, especially for you and I, being the victims of this particular people in this nation, which still continues going on 500 years. It would be foolish, it is foolish, and one has to suffer from some type of mental defect to find some type of love for the people that lynched your grandmothers and fathers, raped your mothers, raped your fathers, done so much wicked things to us. In fact, made a living out of torture and murder and exploitation. And then you want to turn around and go to bed willingly with them after they tell you that you are free. There is something wrong with that mental thinking and process. You will not find that type of thinking nowhere else on this planet except from the so-called Negro of America. However, I wish to treat people the way I want to be treated. If a Caucasian person or Mexican or Chinese or whoever you are, if you treat me fair, if you treat me nice, then I will do so in turn. I will treat people the way I want to be treated. I wish to treat people with justice. I wish to treat people fair. I refuse to be like those that I speak about. I don't care what Caucasian people done or did. I don't care what the Mexicans do. I don't care what the Chinese do or Indians or whoever it is. I don't care what they do. I don't want to be like them. I want to be just and I want to be fair. And I treat people the way that I want to be treated. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your sexual orientation is. I don't care about none of that stuff. You respect me, I respect you. It's as simple as that. However, again, especially when it comes to Caucasian people, I must be honest with you. I must use caution due to the history of abuse, your lies, your exploitation, your deceit, your oppression, your murder, the things that you or you as a people have done to these persons or this group. We are not a people. There's no such thing as a black people, a group of people, because this so-called black is doing his thing, this so-called black over here doing her thing, and everybody doing their thing. Everybody can't be doing all these things and be called a people, because a people is rooted down in one thing, one common goal, one common purpose. And this black people, we are not like that. Even though we're called black people or black folks, we are in different groups. We have never been united. And also we reflect the behavior of dark-skinned people all over this planet. Dark-skinned people of this planet are not interested in unification. So you have Europeans who have invaded the continent of Africa. You have 50-some nations. Even to this day, they refuse to unite against a common invader. They won't do it. The so-called Negro, the black people, the descendants of slaves in this country, we refuse, no matter how many of us are murdered, no matter the discrimination, no matter the exploitation, no matter what is done to us, we refuse to take our groups and bring our groups together under one umbrella. We refuse to do it. We would rather die. This shows how sick we are. But I must be cautious when it comes to Caucasian people, because I can't tell. It's just like poisonous snakes. There are poisonous snakes and there are non-venomous snakes. I am not a snake expert. I am not an expert on Caucasian people. I'm not going to sit around. I can't determine whether this one is poisonous or this one is non-poisonous and so forth. I have to use caution for all. I cannot, so I will not trust none. Has nothing to do with prejudice. Has nothing to do with racism. It's being smart. The reality is, in this nation, so-called black people, the descendants of slaves born in America, I call us the people of soul. As a people, the reality is we are not interested in hating whitey. We're not interested. As long as we have been here, we have never, even under slavery, we have no interest in hating whitey. Now, if you really want to sit around and I hate the white people and kill the white man and all this old crazy stuff y'all be talking about, the people who should have been or had that or was justified to have that type of attitude, they did not do nothing. They are the ones who actually should have taken up arms, even if it meant their extinction, whatever. They should have dealt with the problem. They did not deal with it. They could not and refused to hate whitey. We're not interested, as a people, we're not interested in hate. So you probably will never see a black revolution or so-called black liberation in this nation, because the majority of us, soul people in this nation, we're not interested in hate. So we have no emotional connection in that regard in order to rise up physically against an oppressor. We should have done that a long time ago. Plus, you have another problem. How can you hate somebody that actually have not done nothing to you? Bob across the street is a Caucasian. He's just going to work like you do every day, trying to feed his family. But you just hate him simply because he's Caucasian. That makes you just as sick as the people that you talk about, because Bob did not do nothing to you. How can you hate somebody that have not done nothing to you simply because of the color of their skin, or because they are a man, because they are a woman, because they are homosexual, or whatever the difference it is, because they are Mexican, or whatever your problem is, you just hate. This goes to show that you are, and we have become very sick. The same way that those of whom we complain about, we have actually become like them. We're not interested in hate. And just like I said in an earlier video, the reason why so-called black people, the descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin, the reason why we as a people cannot hate, listen, the reason why we cannot hate whitey as a people, we have no emotional anger no matter what they have done to us, is because, the Caucasian, the white man, is our parents. How many children, no matter what their parents do, their parents can abuse them, they can be drunks and drug addicts or whatever they are, how many parents can turn around, how many children can turn around and actually hate their parents? Very, very few. And you don't understand that, you refuse to accept that, but that's the reality. This is the reason. It's no coincidence that the majority of so-called black people, the people of soul, it's no coincidence that we don't have the ability, we don't have the emotional ability to actually rise up in hatred and anger against Caucasian people, because deep down in our DNA, we know they are our parents. They created us. So instead, since we know that the majority of dark-skinned people in this nation, they're not going to rise up physically, They're not even going to be angry. They're not going to hate. Since we know all this, then we need to focus on the now. Deal with the enemies we do know of. Deal with the Caucasian people. Deal with the Mexicans. Deal with whoever the enemy that we see before us right now. That's what we need to do. And leave the other bull, because it's not going to get done. The reality is not going to happen. Concentrate on bringing the groups together to build a new identity and present and bring forth a new reality under one umbrella. And as a group, you can better defend yourself against the enemies that are happy to oppress, even murder all of us in these different groups. The only thing they see is a black face, and I will shoot you in your face. I will throw you in jail forever. I will rape your little boys and little girls. In a perfect world, now back in the day, see, in a perfect world, in my lifetime, I've met many pink Caucasian ladies who wanted to have some type of romance with me, and I rejected them. I had no choice, because I understood that these people, regardless, they did not do anything to me, but they are the people that done these horrendous things to my ancestors, and I would not shame and I would not do that to my ancestors to romance the people that caused them great and serious harm. However, again, if the Caucasian woman or the Caucasian man, if they really are good white people, then they would tell you, look, I like you, I might love you, but it is in the best interest of you, black man, black woman, you need to stay with your own. I love you, I have feelings for you and whatever. If this was another time and place, maybe we could get married, we could go out on a date or whatever. But due to the current situation, it cannot happen. It's best that you stay with your own people, the people of soul. But many Caucasian people, they are deceivers and manipulators and liars. Instead of saving an eagle, they will heal the eagle just so they can make a pet out of the bird. And this is what many of them do. Keep you bound to them.